Good morning, reefers. I'm Daniel from Coralust. Today I'm talking about setting up a reef tank, some common terminology, and just trying to give you a better overall understanding of how a reef system works. Most of my tanks are reef ready. Reef ready means that they have a built-in overflow and that are pre-drilled and designed to be used with a sump. A sump goes underneath your tank and is an amazing thing. Anyone with a reef tank that's over 50 gallons, I recommend you should have a sump. Okay, so when choosing a pump for your tank, you want a pump that has a turnover rate of about 10 to 20 times per hour your tank's volume. So if you have a 50-gallon tank, you're going to want a 500 to 1,000 gallon per hour pump. Just remember, take into consideration head pressure. When pumping up, most people's tanks aren't on the ground. They're usually pumping up around 4 feet, so that will lower your total gallons per hour. Just make sure you check into that. Also, when buying a heater, make sure you get a heater that's rated plenty for your tank. Don't get a small heater. It's struggling all the time trying to keep your tank warm. You want a bigger heater that's going to be a little bit easier on your tank and keep your temperature more stable. So you have your pump, you have your heater, your sump, your tank, your stand. Lighting, when choosing lighting, LED is phenomenal just because of its controllability. It's way lower cost to run and less heat than metal halides, and T5s are replacing the bulbs constantly. So unless you're reusing old equipment, you have the opportunity to use LEDs. That's what I would go for. So also an RODI system. When you have a reef tank, you're going to want to own an RODI system. That will make sure that your water that you're putting into your aquarium is 100% clean and free of mineral deposits. Some people's water, I'm sure you've heard of a TDS meter. It stands for Total Dissolved Solvents. When using an RODI system, you use a TDS meter just to check the water coming into your system and the water exiting. It should be exiting at 0 parts per million. So intake could be 600, could be 400, just depends on your water, if you're using well water or city water. So something else to look forward to is salt, and here is Pauline to discuss salt.
Hi, my name is Pauline Jodry. At Coralust, we use instant ocean reef crystals. When mixed at a specific gravity of 1.026, you will get a level of calcium at 455 milligrams per liter and a level of magnesium of 1,345. Specific gravity 1.026 is the standard for reef aquariums, which is 35 parts per thousand salinity. Alkalinity for reef tanks is usually 2.5 to 4.5 milliequivalents per liter, or 7 to 12 DKH. DKH is carbonate hardness. It is measured of how much carbonate and biocarbonate are in the water. The higher the content is, the harder the water is. 1/1000s of a chemical equivalent combinations of electrolytes are often expressed as milliequivalents per liter, which is an expression of the chemical combining power of the electrolyte in the fluid. Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline, for that. Now I'm going to talk about choosing a substrate. Many people, I'm sure you've heard, use crushed coral or aragonite on the bottom of their tanks because they help buffer pH. I don't really see this as a problem if you're dosing your tank and you're doing water changes. The buffering capacity of the sand in the substrate isn't as important or influential as you would think. So go with something that you like and something that's good for you. I chose Carib Sea Aragonite, Alive Indo-Pacific Black. It's a nice sand, has good grain size, because I like my gobies to be able to sift through. Some people prefer more of a crushed coral, a larger grain size, because if you have a shallow tank, you could get, if you have sugar fine sand, it'll blow around with your current and your wave makers. So some people prefer a heavier substrate just because they don't want their sand blowing on top of their corals. Live sand, you can also purchase live sand in bags, which is a good thing too. But if you plan on using live rock, you don't have to spend the extra money on the live sand because it does expire, and who knows how long it's been on the shelf or where you've purchased it from or how much of that beneficial bacteria is still alive. So, 1 or 2 bags with your sand, and some people will say 2 inches on the bottom, 3 inches, depending on what your requirements are for your deep sand bed. If you want it to be denitrificating and you're going to use it for beneficial bacteria purposes or just for looks, that's something to think about. You can do some more research yourself on that. Live rock. When purchasing live rock, try to get pieces that are very porous, lightweight, and have lots of places for you to place coral, for you to have beneficial bacteria grow and your fish to hide, and they're easier to stack. So look for some cool shapes when purchasing your live rock. Your tank temperature. You want to keep your water around 77 for a reef tank. Some people have it higher, some people have it lower. You can take it up to, I've seen people have temperature controls if you're using a Reef Angel or something, all the way up to 82. So depending on your environment, where you have your tank, temperature could become a problem and you might need to purchase a chiller. So that's something to look into too. In the very beginning, when setting up a tank, your levels will spike, ammonia and nitrates will rise and fall. So as beneficial bacteria starts to build up in your live rock and sand, you might want to make sure you have a test kit to test these things. A Reef Ready test kit, something nice. Hannah Checkers offers some amazing ones. Red Sea, Personal Preference, or whatever is available to you. So thank you very much for watching this video. I will be posting another one very soon and giving you some more information updated on more equipment that you will need, more specific information as far as what goes in your sump, using a protein skimmer, the benefits of a protein skimmer, doing more water changes, the benefits of dosing, and different stuff. So thank you very much for watching my video. Until next time.